Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to A Clash of Kings. Now, when we left off, we had done battle yet again with some more Stormlands vassals, and as you can see, we do have another naval battle on our hands here against, well, actually a multitude of different vassals from the Stormlands, and, of course, we are going to be helping Mr. Parentheses himself, Jon Connington, of course. So, yes, we're also going to be heading on over to Greenstone after this as well, because it is also under siege, and it's actually Renly. Yes, Renly Baratheon is attempting to take Greenstone, and Aegon has less units than Renly does. Renly has about 320, and Aegon only has 195. I really don't want to help Aegon, to be honest, because he is just terrible. He is absolutely awful, but I'm going to help Jon Connington here because, I mean, come on now. I mean, it seems like a pretty even fight, and it would be kind of nice just to get in on the action here. So, let us rush to the aid of Mr. Parentheses. Yes, there we go. Okay, so yes, look at that. It's a very even fight with our additional forces. Without our forces, he would be in a very dire situation indeed. So 281 versus 266. Let's board the enemy. And we will attempt to use our shield a little bit more, of course. Oh, we seem to be in a... Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, no, I want to go over that way. Thank you very much. Yes, Lord Stumble needs to get... no, come on. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, there we are. Okay, so Lord Stumble needs to get over here and attack them from behind, of course, because why else would we really want to get over here other than to do that? Okay, so these guys are actually going to be relatively tricky to deal with. As you can see, he's actually dealing damage to us when we're not able to deal damage to him. That is... Oh, that's just unfair, isn't it? An absolutely unfair situation indeed. But obviously this is war, and war is unfair, that is for sure. So let's try and take these guys out so I can actually get onto a much safer little landing point here. I'm a little bit worried about fighting here because I think you can still fall off and basically go plummeting down to the depths of the ocean, and that's not going to be too good, is it? No. So I'm hopeful that we'll actually be able to get on in here. Come on, can I actually deal some damage now? Yes, there we go. There we are. That's what we like to see. Okay, so... yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Heavy Stormlands Knights. They are terrible. But for some reason, it seemed as though my two-handed sword was not really reacting as it usually does. I'm actually unsure why that was, but okay. I don't think we really have to worry too much about this. Most of our units are doing a pretty good job of things, so I guess we'll see where that leads. Okay, so a rather amusing bug has actually befallen us here. As you can see, I mean, yes, obviously you can very much tell that the frame rate is plummeting pretty badly here, but yeah, there's a very good reason for that. As you can see, huge amounts of units not being able to move. They are literally just running into each other on the exact same boat. If I could actually not get blocked by the sails, thank you very much. But yes, do you see this? Yep, that is Warband AI for you. It's basically like 5 guys attempting to go into the same doorway and failing to do so, isn't it? It's basically like that, isn't it? I mean, that's Warband AI for you. So, hopefully, well, hopefully we will not see that kind of thing happening again. So, otherwise, I think it's as good a time as any to say, yes, we have succeeded in our fight, and yes, we're now once again able to head on in there, but unfortunately, I'm not able to, so I'm going to just get on out of there because I will not be able to actually help any further, which is kind of sad, to be honest, because I actually would have liked to very much participate. Oh, never mind. Okay, so apparently they all just decided, hey, you know what, that guy has the right idea, and they decided to all stumble away from the battle, and nothing very much came of it, so I guess that's absolutely fine. We are still gaining a little bit of interest at the Iron Bank. And speaking of that, I do need to go over there and place some money in, because we do have 51,000, so it would be a really nice idea to go and do that at some point. Right now, however, I don't really have that much time. The only time I've had so far is to go to a ransom broker and sell our prisoners and get a little bit more food and things like that. But let's get some more power strike here, a little bit more in one-handed, two-handed, yeah, things like that. And Carver, oh yes, you have a very large two-handed weapon, don't you? So a lovely amount in power strike will be good there. And let's see, who else needs... Ah, no, I do not want to exit, thank you very much. Yes, Brendan. Brendan, you need to advance. So let's get you some first aid, thank you very much. That's the only reason why I was not able to even go into the fight this time around, because we have no first aid. So at least now we have some first aid, so I might be able to head into at least a second round once I have been eliminated. So let's actually see what goes down here. They do have a rather significant amount of Stormlands vassals right by the side of Greenstone. A little bit worried about that, I gotta say. It actually says, hilariously enough, small bands of enemies. Not entirely sure what's going on with the small bands of enemies there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a small band of enemies, that's for sure. As you can see, 317 for Renly there. And, well, that's reasonable. 180 among those two vassals as well. So, I guess we'll see what actually transpires. Alright, so we have been greeted by a huge offensive push by the Stormlands here. As you can see, we have 275 versus the enemy's 504. Our current forces commander is Lord Stumble. Yes, probably not the best name ever to be leading a defense, but yes, we're going to be doing that anyway. So let's have a look at the castle layout. Obviously, we've already done this, but it's this one. Oh yes, excellent. This is going to mean that we have a pretty significant advantage. Obviously, we don't have that many archers. We only have, 14. So that's pretty awful, but the bottleneck here is going to make a huge difference. And hopefully, considering they have to go all the way around, it is going to mean that we have a lot more time to deal significant damage to them. So, without further ado, let us welcome them into our blades. Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, yes. Of course, our companions are just going to go at the front there and get themselves utterly destroyed, which is kind of sad because while I would very much like to get them good armor and good weapons and things like that, even though Carver actually has a good weapon, he apparently decided to get eliminated a little bit too soon. But at least we are maybe going to survive a little bit longer this time around. But yeah, let's actually just see about that. No, you're blocking me. Thank you. Oh, that was actually very nice of him. Okay, he decided to get out of the way. Okay, so this is where I actually don't know whether I'm going to allow them to just stay there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to command the nearby units just to move back a little bit. And mostly the infantry and cavalry. Because if we do this, we get, we get much more area covered, in other words. So we're actually able to deal a lot more damage to the various units coming out. So now we can charge in. Now we can charge in. Because now at least I get to help a little bit. And we still have our archers in a pretty decent position as well. Hopefully they can actually deal some damage too. You never know. We might actually see that. Yep, come on. There we are. Come on, take him down. Take him down. Yes. Okay, wow. They really take hits very, very well, don't they? I mean, look at that. That heavy Stormlands Knight literally took 15 damage. That was very impressive. Okay, so yes, unfortunately my two-handed sword is probably not the greatest here, unfortunately. It doesn't seem to be doing that much damage, but I guess it could be that they have so many knights and heavily armored units that it is just taking its toll. And, oh, there we go, we're stumbling and falling. We are stumbling and falling. That is the first of the episode. Oh, let's just not hope for any more than that. Yes, that is not good. We do not want more of those, thank you very much. I would appreciate that. Come on. Yes, there we are. Try and thrust into them as well. Thrust into them from the side. Oh no, that guy is attacking me for free right there. I have no idea what's going on, but apparently the enemies are actually hitting us a lot more often. Ow. Get out of here. Get out of here, Hammerman. I know how effective you can be, but get out of here anyway. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's try and just block that. There we go. There we are. Okay, so, phew, we did it. Okay, the initial wave has been beaten back, which is utterly fantastic. But we are going to need to now reorganize and micromanage our units ever so slightly because we don't want them getting a little bit too ahead of themselves, do we? No. So there we go, there we go. Okay, so now we can charge back in. Now we can charge. Go, go, go. Go, guys. Yes. Maybe. Maybe. Is it working? Is it working? Nope. Yep, there's a block. And there's an overhead and oh no. Oh, Yes, okay, I think it's working. Ah, very nice. Okay, that was very, very close. Almost perished there. And did you see that? Look at that. 7 damage to a heavy Stormlands Knight. I know I had minus 10% speed bonus, but still. Oh, no. Okay, well, maybe as we go, if we are able to defeat the majority of their waves here, we might get a chance to, shall we say, give them a chance to, well, run away, shall we say. And then we'll just say, I see. After they say, no, we will slaughter you to the last man. And things like that. So yes, probably that's going to be the case. I'm actually really surprised that Blackwoe is alive still. I have no idea what he's actually doing. Is he actually doing anything? I mean, look at him. He's just kind of standing there with his white hair, and he's just like, yes, I have white hair. Look at me. I'm amazing. And various things like that. So, yes, unfortunately, it appears as though the infantry is kind of having a weird time right now. They don't seem to be actually dealing that much damage. And they seem to be running away a little bit more than I would have liked. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, yes, archers. Yes, this is exactly what I need you to do. I need you to focus this guy in the back, please. Oh, never mind. Okay, I'll just deal with it myself. Thank you, archers. Yes. Okay, well, this is even if we actually are able to pull this off. They have archers actually just running in. Running in here now. 4 damage from an archer, really? That is just terrible, but... well, I think this is actually the last enemy. Is it? No, it's not the last enemy. That is disappointing. We are going to most likely get overrun here if we don't get any more reinforcements. I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't gotten any more reinforcements right now, because the enemy has had, well, what is it, 2 waves? 2 or 3 waves now? So I guess we're just going to have to put our faith in the Targaryen longbowmen. And of course they are very, very good, or at least I think so. They do seem to deal some significant damage, even to the hardiest of unit. So hopefully many of the enemy units will not have shields. As you can see, look at that, new enemies have arrived yet again. Hopefully we are going to be seeing a couple of reinforcements ourselves soon. Here we go. We are receiving reinforcements now. Oh, that was actually a little bit nerve-wracking there. I thought to myself, what's actually going on with the reinforcement system here? Because many of our archers, as you can see, have been killed. But obviously they're not actually our archers. They're actually just, well, our allies' archers. So it's not really causing us too much pain. But at least we are now seeing a couple of people coming in. Unfortunately, most of these units coming in now are ours, so hopefully they're not going to perish too easily. Yes, as you can see, we do have some Cahoric scythe men and mace men, and they actually seem to be holding their ground relatively nicely right now, so that's pretty good. But we're still receiving reinforcements. What's going on with that? Have we disabled the, well, shall we say, what is it? Disabled the battle continuation thing? I mean, well, what is that called now? I think it's the reinforcement waves. And it seems they have no limit because, well, initially, I would always think that the enemy would have, I don't even know, 1 initial wave and then 3, maybe 4 reinforcement waves, and they've already had 5, I believe, so there's a little bit of jiggery-pokery going on there, maybe. I don't think so, but yes, it seems that's just the way A Clash of Kings actually does it now, because beforehand, I seem to remember that it did actually have intervals for us to actually stop, catch our breath, let first aid do its job, get back in the fight itself. But yeah, it appears as though anyway, most of the enemy units are actually very low tier, so we don't really need to worry about that at all. As you can see, most of these guys do not have very good armor at all. They are not knights, and most of them are actually archers, as well as just being regular man-at-arms, so I don't think we really need to worry about them at all in actual fact, because, as you can see, our own units actually have some pretty fiendish weaponry, and, well, as you can see by the Cahoric macemen, they're just insane in my opinion, so now we're losing a couple of our scythemen, of course. As soon as I say, oh, you know what, those units are going to be terrible, and then they prove themselves to be a lot better than that. Okay, so I actually think this is going to be the last enemy wave. I know, it's quite a hard thing to believe, but yes, I think that is actually going to be it, because there seems to be a very dwindling amount of enemies, and yep, there we go. Okay, so we had, I think, 2 reinforcement waves, and the enemy had 8 or 9 or 10 or a million. Who knows? But anyway, let us go to the casualties screen and check out actually what our losses are. Wow, we lost 6 mounted Targaryen sergeants. Definitely something I did not want to lose right there. A number of scythe men have also been lost. Thankfully, our mace men have not been lost, but, well, they all level up into mace men, so it's kind of sad that we lost 23 total units. But our enemies, no, our allies actually lost 29. So I suppose that's going to hit them a little bit harder, but of course there are a variety of different vassals there, so if they're all splitting it, it shouldn't actually make that much difference. And then of course we do have the amount of units that Lord Stumble killed, which is actually 36. We actually killed 36. That's actually kind of bad. I would have liked to have killed at least 50. That would have been about 10% of the main enemy forces anyway, so that would have been kind of nice. But anyway, there we have it. 311 of the enemy's units were killed and 193 were just wounded. And we do actually get an opportunity to take these guys prisoner as well, which I think we are going to do for the most part. Ooh, Renly is also available. Oh my. I'm actually kind of surprised by that, considering he is their liege. I'm actually very surprised in actual fact, but okay. We are going to be taking as many of these guys as we can. Actually, all of them, in fact. That's pretty nice. And we gained some thick mail boots. Okay, well, yeah, they're actually kind of okay, I suppose. We'll just take those, I guess. Now, we do need to get to 20 strength to be able to use this heavy plate armor. I currently do not have that, so yeah, that's the reason I'm not wearing it, for those of you that left comments about that. And yes, otherwise, I think we can just let our companions loot the rest. There we are. Wow, now that was a pretty devastating siege for the Stormlands. They lost their leader and a number of other vassals, of course, and it's looking pretty good for House Targaryen right now. Even though we only have 2 fiefs, and Aegon is an absolute idiot, we will hopefully be launching a siege against Mistwood in the next episode. So I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.